Hi, I'm Chris K, the film guy.
And I'm Janitor Jake.
And you're watching an lightning round of RD Talk. We're going to start with talking about all of our interests from our childhood up to now.
Yeah, growing up as a kid, I was always doing a ton of stuff, and one of the first things I ever got into was like video gaming. Born in 1985, and I had two sisters who were 12 and 14 at the time, and they got me hardcore right into gaming. I was pretty much born, and they threw an NES controller in my hand.
The earliest instance that I had a video game was probably the arcade, and did computer gaming mostly. I had an IBM clone computer that I played on called Beltron. It was really simple stuff until I got a hand-me-down Genesis when I was about 7 or 8. I would binge video game, not very good at it, wasn't pretty.
Yeah, I was pretty hardcore about it, grew up playing it all the time. I didn't, like, every single day I'd always be playing games, but also to top it off, I grew up, my dad was really into the outdoors, almost kind of redneckish, and so I grew up big time, like, with hunting and fishing and trapping. Like, every day it'd be like, get up at 4 in the morning, go check the trap line, and then later on in the evening go deer hunting. Then in the middle of the day go out and go fishing and stuff like that, too.
Nice. I didn't go hunting until I was about 12 years old. I do it casually.
Like 6 years old and stuff, I ended up going into martial arts, taking karate classes. And a lot of people that came into karate did it like for a month or two and then they would quit, but I was in it full-blown hardcore. Like at the age of 7 and 8, I'm competing in these like grand national karate tournaments in Chicago and big karate tournaments in Detroit, Michigan, and just racking up trophies, and I was like just hardcore into it for quite a while.
Nice.
And then probably, I think I was about 14 years old, I ended up picking up skateboarding because I figured, well, what the heck, I don't have enough to do with all the other stuff, so I might as well do that too, I guess.
Nice.
And that I went full-blown hardcore into it as well. Like I said, you know, I had people that would be like, oh, skateboarding, that's cool, and they do it for a couple months, and that was it.
Yeah.
But like, almost like a secondary home was the skate park for me. I mean, I was there all the time.
Nice. I went to Skate City for mostly birthday stuff, and I would do mostly roller skating until I eventually graduated to rollerblading, and I found rollerblading a lot easier than roller skating. So I do a little bit of that, a little bit of ice skating, but could not even stand on a skateboard. But yeah, I know we used to hang out at the skate park, and I did some okay stuff, but I wasn't a huge skater or anything like that.
Around the age of 15, almost 16, I picked up the guitar. I always loved heavy metal and stuff like that growing up, and ended up getting into the guitar, and I've been sticking with that. Like I said, I started at 16, and I'm 29 now. And so I got into the guitar, and then from there I ended up graduating into other instruments. I ended up playing the bass, and then from there I ended up playing the drums, and then from there I ended up picking up the piano, and I got a banjo, and I got a ukulele, and so I just, since I'm always around music and stuff like that, I just kind of swap back and forth between all sorts of instruments.
Cool. Yeah, when I was a kid I did a little bit of harmonica, but my sister was into piano, so we had a piano in the house. I started actually composing music when I was about 9 for a film idea that I had about a private investigator, sort of a Hercule Poirot kind of a story, sort of Agatha Christie kind of stuff, and so I started composing background music for it at about the age of 9. In middle school I did a little bit of piano. I actually took lessons and everything like that. I kind of stopped that by high school, just composing stuff, playing by ear mostly. But I did pick up the guitar casually. I can't play too much, not a very good sight reader. Basically a tool for me as far as film goes. So.
And then what got me into filmmaking was in high school. I ended up doing some radio broadcasting because I've always been interested in radio, even as a little kid, recording myself on my portable like boom box or whatever.
It's funny you say that. I used to do the exact same thing too.
And then I took a class where they had radio production, video production, and all sorts of weird little things. And you were doing video production, and me and another friend were doing radio. After we were done with the radio, then we moved on to video production, but my friend didn't really care much for it. And so I ended up asking you for some help or something. You came over and wanted me to help you with a video you were doing.
Did a lot of experiments, stuff like that.
Yeah, then you and I just started experimenting and doing all sorts of different stuff in the filmmaking. And that's kind of what started me into filmmaking, and then helping you with your movie. Yeah, I graduated in 2005, and 2008 is when I started my Janitor Jake stuff. But then it was more recently, around 2011, 2012, when I really started getting more into the rules of filmmaking. And then it kind of blew up this whole thing where now I really do want to be a filmmaker.
Yeah, as a kid, I was always interested. When I was like 5, I wanted to be a paleontologist. Always been interested in dinosaurs. Always interested in bones and stuff like that too. As I grew older, I was more interested in actual living creatures. On one hand, I was interested in like writing stories, and the other hand, like I wanted to be a roboticist too, because I was really interested in stuff like that. When I was about, I want to say 8 or 9, maybe 10, they had that TV show BattleBots. I always wanted to do a BattleBot thing. Yeah, I was always interested in mechanics and technology too. The whole, Tesla, Edison kind of thing, they're always inventing things. Like I said, I grew up with a Beltron computer. I always wanted to know how these people program these things. So I've always been interested in computer programming my own video games, stuff like that. But like I said, I was interested in writing too, so I had this vast array of stuff that I was interested in. I started writing this story. Yeah, I started composing music for that. That didn't go very far. I did a couple other films. None of those really panned out into anything though. They're just huge scripts sitting in a closet somewhere. Probably the one reason I got into film is because it's acting, because it's fun to just sit there and pretend for a living or dream up things for a living. I did forget to mention that I was into magic tricks and everything like that as well, but I just did not have the discipline to stick with magic or stick with any one area. And I thought, you know what, you can dream it up, you can show people, you can still be involved with this sort of stuff, but you can make it much more entertaining, have a lot more fun with it if you just stick with film, because it encompasses a wide array of stuff. So I stuck with film, produced Film and Noir: The Second Chance. I hired this guy as the bad guy, Brian Slane was the character. And then we went on to produce a little homage to superhero characters. And from there, we took the superhero characters when I was in college. I was like, oh, it's all nostalgic. I want to bring back those characters. And it wasn't until 2012 that I started doing this version of that story. And I'm like, this is going to be the one. Obviously that's been proving a little bit more difficult than I had wanted. But we are going to get it done. It's going to be really awesome. And then we're going to move on to other things in life once we're done with that. Jake, plans for the future?
Pretty much my plans are just I want to get the name Janitor Jake out there. One of the things I want to do is I want people to be able to go to google.com and in the search just type in like the letter J, and the very first suggestion that would pop up is Janitor Jake. Because I started my YouTube channel back in 2008, and like I could upload a video and within a day I'd hit like 200-300 views. Boom. Like now I upload a video and it takes like 3 weeks before I get like maybe 20 views, 30 views. So I was starting to grow. My biggest videos were the Lost Boys reviews. A lot of people commented and a lot of people were messaging me and a lot of people loved all my stuff. And so pretty much my main goal is just to keep going with the Janitor Jake videos, get that channel going, just keep my name out there. And ultimately I do want to do like feature-length films. I have a whole list of feature-length movies that I want to make, and just incorporate the character of Janitor Jake into those films and even do other random films too. Be able to make a living off of doing this in front of a camera.
Yeah, I've got a gigantic cabinet full of just scripts that I want to revisit from my childhood up to now that would make great films. I want to work on some documentary series too. I want to take a trip, kayaking trip down the Mississippi and see if we can make a film out of that, but we'll just try a Hudson start someday. I don't know, maybe it might be a year or 2 or 3 down the road. I don't know, I wanted to do it several years ago. There's a lot of things from my childhood I do want to go back and revisit. Stuff like programming. So I do want to do some computer programming, create tools that would help me with film, and also create video games. I think that would be really fun. Get into some website design, stuff like that, and create my own digital media business, producing not custom stuff, but my own stuff that I think would just be fun to do, because that's kind of just what I want to be about. That's what I want CMK Studios to be about, which is my, I don't want to say company, but it's my brand, I guess you could say. And so basically that's what we're going to be about. We're going to be doing the fun stuff that we want to do, and if you want to support us, you can always shop at our store once it's up and running and stuff like that. But until then, we'll be researching, we'll be developing, we'll try to figure out a way to make our dreams come true, basically. Until the next time, thanks for listening to our lightning round. I'm Chris K, the film guy.
And I'm Janitor Jake.
Thanks for watching. Also, you could check out the first time we went through this. That one took about 30 minutes. This one took maybe about 10 minutes, I'm hoping. This was supposed to be the lightning round version of that, but really, I think we pretty much covered everything that we did the first time.
Yeah.
So enjoy, have a great one. Talk to you guys later.